Look, this is, I don't even know where to start with this, but I'm going to start here. We black men honestly have failed our black women or failing our black women. It's not all our fault, to be honest with you, but a lot of it is. And I'm only speaking to black women and black men. We're such a fractured community. Any other race, they don't have the issue that we have. They're able to, you can look at a lot of different races and see that they can have whole shopping centers that they're able to buy and help their families out of poverty. The communities get to build and really work with one another in order to keep their communities safe, vibrant, and lively. And they're able to really live full good life, when it comes to money. Because I know money's not everything, but living without it definitely is miserable. That's where the plight of the black man and the black woman and the black family suffers. We don't have the opportunities. Name me any black owned business to where it's a thriving, bustling enterprise that you work for. I know it's one black lady that used to be the BET CEO. She has a really nice resort in Virginia. Then again, she's a woman. So she's going to have more opportunity than we black men. As statistics show, the black women are outpacing us in education. And a lot of their earnings are up now. Doesn't mean black men per capita, we aren't able to earn what we need to earn. And that goes back to striking us as black men, knocking us in our opportunities and how we feel about ourselves. A lot of what we do and not being capable of being a full man is really something we suffer from as black men. I'm not speaking for all men because some men may have it together, but majority of us don't. And I'm including myself in that because I have gone through things and dealt with women and just hadn't been the best version of me. We always try to base it on we don't have our stuff together. Women, you all are to blame for a lot of this also. It's not the fact that we don't want to provide or be that dude you can rely on. It just takes some time and grace and patience for us to really understand that you're there for us that way. And the way you want to show us you love us may not be always be the best way. Just because you say it doesn't always mean the best, because then your actions and how you talk to us and be demeaning and nitpick about every little thing that starts to itch at a man. It's only so long we're gonna stay in that mentally. We may stay in it physically because as a unit we need to be together and we need help too. We don't always have a game plan. Because the opportunities aren't always that vast. And I know everybody always wants to say, you just got to get out and go get it. You a man, you just got to hustle and struggle through it. But you don't think that takes a toll on our mental state as we try our best to figure it out? And we want to be that provider because we already know as a man, we're only really as good as our jobs and the money that we bring in. We already know that. Why you think men do a lot of womanizing? Because at the end of the day, we know if we're not bringing anything to the table or we don't have a steady job or big streaming income, y'all not going to look at us as men anyway. We already know that it's predetermined that if we're not working and bringing in stuff, that we're going to be disposable, that you're not going to respect us, that you're not going to hold us to this high regard that you think a quote unquote man is. Along the way, we're going to have to dissect what a real, true, solid, good man is. I think we're going to have to change the narrative, the definition of what that actually means, so you can get to the root of building and understand who we are as men and how you get the best out of us. To put it in perspective, it's changing now. Women are a lot different, and I think now they're just thinking that I just gotta go get it. I can't rely on no man, and that's true. And you should not rely on any sex. A man should rely on a woman, or a woman should rely on a man. I get that. But at what point do we come together to where we say we don't rely on each other, but we do partner and work together? And that's just the common staple of how we operate together. It's just really one of these things to where we got to figure out how we cooperate and build us. The men think one way and the women think another way. And we don't trust each other at all. The men don't trust the men. The women don't trust the men. The women don't trust the women. It's very detrimental to our success. And if we're going to ever move forward, it's been like this for so long. I say ever since 1965 and Jim Crow. This is a different day and time now. This is not the way it is now. But back in the day, a man could earn a really good living working with his hands. kids, and he could take care of a whole family of four. And that's why children were so prominent during the baby boomer era. They were able to afford a house full of children and get the house and the cars and be able to make sure the woman can stay home, take care of the kids or whatever. Those days are long gone. With the way the economy is now and all this inflation and just anywhere you want to live, it's just so expensive to live now that we can't rely on that state of being anymore. That hadn't ever evolved. Women still feel as though the man needs to be a man and be able to take care of the house. What black man you know earns enough to even take care of everything fully now? The average black man, I should say. You've got the athletes, you've got the actors, entertainers, and some of those guys that can yield a lot of money to be able to take care of it. But then mentally, they're screwed. Even those dudes aren't even solid. I can name a couple of famous men that do right by their wives and really have been there and they stuck around through it all. But for the most part, we black men are fractured, which in turns that fractures the confidence our black women have in us. My goal with this channel, and I named it Unfortunate Fortune, because I've gone through a lot that really caused my life to be slowed down to where I wanted to be in life at a certain age. But the fortunate side of that is I've learned my lessons based on those unfortunate events that happened, made me end up where I am now. There is fortune in unfortunate. You just got to learn those lessons and try to understand how you want to correct those issues moving forward. You have to really try to plan a route for yourself to where it's going to be positive. You're going to be able to motivate others around you. You're going to be a benefit to their lives. You just going to want to be impactful in general. My life hadn't been a treacherous life at all. I come from pretty good stock. I've definitely made some decisions in my life that I wish I could have taken back. But now I'm super happy with where my life is, and I'm very glad of the direction and the decisions I've made. I just take accountability for me, and I want to be the very best guy I can be. I've got a great girlfriend now that I finally found the woman that's for me because I can contribute to her in a peaceful way. Because in my life, I've created peace, and I'm not going to allow anybody in my life that's not going to be peaceful. If you can't provide some solution and we can talk soundly and communicate together, I'm not just going to deal with it. But that's a process. It's been years in the making to where I'm this guy I wanted to be. I always knew who I wanted to be, but you got to find that vehicle to where you can make it everything you want it to be. And I'm very happy with my life right now. As black people, we have to figure out how we bridge the gap with one another first before we do anything with anybody else. That we have to work and try to understand one another. And that's what my channel is geared towards. Us creating a dialogue and trying to figure out how do we heal our wounds together, because I'm very, very fortunate with where I am now in this space, and I can talk about this in, I think, a beneficial way. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not any of that. I'm just a normal dude that's trying to bridge the gap between black women and black men, because it's dialogues that need to be had and we need to have them. We've got daughters and sons that are trying to grow up in this turmoil life. And we can't have these altered views of what black men and black women are to them. We want them to be healthy. We want them to thrive. We want them to be successful. But in order for them to know what success is, they've got to see it for themselves. And I've been on child support. I've had it to where I didn't know what each day was going to look like, to where I didn't have any money. I was in the negative. But the good thing about me is I finished college and I was able to earn enough money coming out of college in order to build my life, even though paying child support. But that's another story for another time.